course you want to be a champion. Of course you want to be working towards winning titles.
Be happy, but never satisfied.
Better than ever.
Good morning from Brampton, Ontario, 2023 CUUC Canadian Ultimate University Championship. My name is Etienne Fournier. I will have the immense privilege of hosting this live web stream Canadian University Championship, and I will not be alone. I will have the great privilege of sharing the mic with who is without any doubt the most enthusiastic color commentator in the business, Devon Asimota. Thanks for being with us this morning, Devon.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Etienne. I have the privilege to be commentating next to you. You know, I think it's been a long journey for us going from you commentating my games to us commentating together.
Well, here we are, and it's a pleasure to share the mic with you, Devon. It's great. You're doing an amazing job so far. But how is there any better way to kick off your Saturday morning than, a warm, great coffee, some eggs, bacon cooking, peanut butter toast, and great University Ultimate live from Brampton, Ontario. The two teams that will be featured in this first of three webcasts for this day 2 of Canadian University Championship will be Ottawa and versus University of Victoria. So a typical East Coast, West Coast confrontation.
Yeah, I'm sure being in Ontario, it's not the true East Coast of Canada. Newfoundland and the Maritimes will have something to say about that. But definitely we have a great matchup today with UVic and University of Ottawa. So we have, just to situate you in the tournament, this is the second game of pool play today. Ottawa got a great win against Sherbrooke, 14-8, and UVic just lost a very close game against Queens, 11-9, sadly. So now what is going to happen is UVic's really trying to get back into the win column, get a good start in pool play, you know what I mean? And Ottawa's looking to stay undefeated just so they can get an easier matchup in their quarterfinal tomorrow.
So University of Victoria on your right-hand side wearing the white jerseys, while Ottawa is on the left-hand side wearing the dark jerseys. Here's the horn signaling we can kick off this game. Thanks for being with us. Have a good game, everybody.
So some key players to look out for here, especially on this D-line for Ottawa. You're going to see Max Ayad pulling the disc. We have Logan Keeler, who played U24 mix this summer, and also Teo Golbey coming in from the Ignite Junior program. And here on UVic's O-line, look out for Max and Justin Petsanuzzo, both coming in with Team Canada experience. And we're also going to be giving a shout-out to Niall Lebel. So let's just see what this UVic team has out on O. It looks like they're setting up in a host stack to start.
So UVic on the receiving end of the opening pool. So quick reset in the middle. Petenuzzo, who you can expect to have a lot of disc in this game today. Great defense by Ottawa, shutting it down, going long, floaty disc. Everybody is invited to the fest, and it's a turn. First break opportunity for Ottawa to kick off this game. Ottawa wearing the dark jerseys. Earning some yardage by Argent. Going long once again. It's a hawk fest so far. Disc is floating in the end zone, and it's been landing on the ground. Two white jerseys were defending, even though number 9 from Ottawa did a great layout bid killer, but fell a little short. So another opportunity for UVic, but it's a miscued by UVic two handlers. Ottawa threatening for a break point. They are in the red zone, looking for an around pass. Time is running out, but still we have a reset and a quick timeout. So teams have 2 timeouts per half. So Ottawa acknowledging the importance of this break point opportunity right in the first point of the game.
Yeah, and you saw UVic just struggling a bit to adjust in this win. A couple quick turns on their first O point of the game. And Ottawa just sensing, like you said, the importance of starting off with a nice break. So Max Ayad there taking a timeout in the middle of the field. Great field positioning. And we'll see what they can do on this thing. We have 2 coaches on Ottawa. Habib Atala coached Ignite for a couple seasons and is now an assistant coach for the Team Canada U20 Open team. And Luke Phelan, who got his experience coaching the GGs for the past 2 seasons and coached Ottawa's Phoenix, their top Open team here this summer. And
Great.
On the UVic side, their head coach, Oliver Telfer, is away traveling here. So we have a player coach, Jonah Teal, stepping in to do those duties this weekend.
Second break opportunity for Ottawa so far. And the game just started. So if you're not familiar with the sport, the players have 10 seconds to attempt a pass. Contact are not allowed. First team to 15 win the game unless we reach the 80 minutes mark. So whoever has the highest score will win the game. 83 Ayad with the disc, looking for a reset, losing some yardage, but still in control. Samuel Tremblay, La Rochelle, another reset going into Ottawa's
Ross.
half. Still strong defense by Victoria, putting a ton of pressure on Ottawa. Break opportunity. Great disc movement. It's a 1-to-1 defense, but miscued. They were attempting to go on the break side, but failed to complete the pass. So UVic will have an opportunity to redeem on with their O-line. Pete Nudzo with the disc, playing with his brother. So there's Justin wearing number 51 and Max wearing number 0. Some discussion with the observers. I'm not sure what the call was.
It looks like just a marking infraction probably. They're coming in at stall 2 though.
Quickly resolved. Disc is live. Pete Nudzo with the disc looking for a reset. Ottawa putting a ton of pressure. Quick release, but a little low. Hard to catch. So Ottawa with their third break opportunity in the first point of this game. Going break side, and it's no, unfortunately, it's dropped. Number 31, Bayarjon was the target, but could not handle the disc. So another redemption opportunity for UVic.
And one thing you see the Ottawa G's doing here on defense is just taking away the unders right now. They're making it really hard for UVic to get undercuts, just like they've been hitting the past couple. And now they're getting into some flow here.
Crossing the midfield mark. The white jerseys from Victoria. Nice resets, attacking the break side. Nice fake. Little flick up the line, and it's caught. Was that caught in? Yes, we have the observer's confirmation. So UVic O-line hangs on to score the first point of the game and taking a 1-point short lead early in the game.
Yeah, and that was the younger Petsunutso brother Max scoring the goal there. Um, you know, first 0-point jitters, but a hold nonetheless, Etienne.
It's not the way, it's the output that's important at this point. And as you mentioned, UVic just they played earlier this morning against Queen in a very, very hard fought battle, which they have lost by only 2 points. It was like there was a 1 point difference at the half. So I guess they really want to redeem themselves against the powerhouse, which is Ottawa, which they finished second last year, if I'm not mistaken, Devon.
Yeah, so these two teams were in two different divisions last year. You had UOttawa coming second in Division 1, so returning silver medalist. In UVic, they lost to Guelph in the Friday qualifier last year, so they were just in Division 2. Not too sure what they placed there. But we have Cochrane here with the pull here for UVic. And let's see what type of defense UVic runs, and let's see if Ottawa struggles going upwind in the same way that the UVic O-line just did.
Nice outside in with a great angle. Lands deep in Ottawa's zone. Staple with the disc, flicking it on the break side. Ottawa O-line moving on, looking for a reset. Tough defense by Victoria. Floaty disc, which is saved by number 16, Berube. Midfield for Ottawa, going on the open side. Gallant with the disc, feeding number 7 Knox, but there was a pick call. So if you're not familiar with the sport, pick, it's like obstruction. Unlike basketball, you're not allowed to do that in Ultimate.
Not at all. And you see here, Cam Knox here with the disc. He's actually a transfer, so first-year student at UOttawa, transferring from Brock Badgers, but he does come in with a wealth of Frisbee experience, so not your typical rookie.
Attacking the line, but resetting back to Staple midfield. Staple faking it, going back in on the break side. Finding Gallant once again. Ottawa taking their time, still always going break side, going around their mark. Nice pass and run by Gallant. He's in the end zone. Disc is floating, and Gallant catches the disc to secure Ottawa first point. It's an offense hold. We are tied at 1.
And you saw just UOttawa just shred the marks of UVic there, just going around, going to the break side, really making it hard for the UVic defenders to even set a mark there, and then just Gallant just working it around to Staples. Staples throwing a nice upline flick to Gallant in the end zone where nobody was.
It's such a great skill to have to go around your mark, especially that UVic was forcing back end. So with the flick, if you're a right-hander, of course, it looks easier to go, but in many sports, whenever it looks easier, because there's a ton of training behind it.
And especially in this win, it's such a hard throw to put just the right touch and the right edge on the throw. But if you're UVic's O-line right now, what are you thinking here? Because your O-line took 2 or 3 tries to score, and the UOttawa O-line just did it in one go.
Yeah, well, as you just mentioned, Devon, make sure your mark is not too close of whoever has the disc, because they're going to go around you. So maybe you just take one step back, make sure you contain the break, and that you really force on the open side. And one thing that also UVic was doing, they were forcing back end, which is kind of with the wind that comes from the top of your screen towards down of your screen. So let's see if they will. But the wind is not that strong right now, so we'll see how they will adapt.
Yeah, gusting is definitely how we would describe it. But out of bounds pull by Ayad, allowing Petsunutso to pick up the disc and start in the middle of the field here. It looks like UOttawa will be in match defense.
UVic going long, great back end. It's a happy hour in the end zone, and it lands on the ground. So Ottawa getting a defense and another break opportunity early in this game. So Ottawa, their own goal line. Ayad going long. It's a hawk pass. Number 9 is the target. He catches the disc a couple a yard shy of the end zone. Kaler with the disc. Feeding now number 10, Tremblay La Rochelle. Looks for a reset. Kaler is down, but he's going break side and it's being catch by Ottawa. Here's the first break point of the game. Ottawa taking a short 1-point lead, 2-1.
Yeah, and that was Ayad with a huge backhand hook to Keeler, just running it down, and then UOttawa was really patient, got into their end zone set, and Tremblay La Rochelle hit the high stall around backhand to Ayad with a lovely bid there to secure, and you saw the little bus driver celebration there. You love to see them having fun with it.
It's always a fun and entertaining celebration. The bus driver celebration. Just love it.
Yeah, you treat the disc like a wheel, honk a couple times, wave to the crowd.
Make sure everybody's safe, secure, know where the bus is.
Oh, yeah. And you see UOttawa coming out with similar characters on their D-line, not too much changeover. You see Ayad, Keeler, Tremblay La Rochelle looking like he's going to be pulling up wind here.
So as you mentioned, Devon, it was a very high stall count pass, kind of a desperate throw. You need to try something, and a great bid. So, that's one thing when you rely on your teammates, you know what they can do. Just put it out there, and somebody will at least hunt for the disc. So that's part of the team chemistry.
Yeah, you got to get a little lucky sometimes. And if you notice, I think all of UOttawa is wearing the same hat here, some base pro shop hats. How do you like the matching team attire, Etienne?
How can you not like it, I would say. Great gears. So we have a pull that will land about 20 yards off the sideline. So we'll put it back in at the brick mark. Petenuzzo Justin, now wearing number 51, will put it back into play. Horizontal stack by UVic. Kind of a poachy defense to shut down the first pass. One brother feeding the other one. Now it's number 81 with the disc. Davis going flick break, but it's well read by Tremblay La Rochelle. Another D by Ottawa. Midfield going long once again, but Davis is there to defend the disc. Will secure it by catching it and bring it up the line. So break opportunity by Ottawa, which is shut down. Davis with the disc. Being forced. Fleck looking for an open pass. Feeds number 7, LaBelle. LaBelle fakes it, still on the open side. Feeds 27, McLaren, and it's a long pass. Well read. Petenuzzo, number 0. Feeding quickly, number 14 for UVic's second point. We are tied at 2.
That was a great hook from McLaren there, feeding Petenuzzo. And one thing to note is this Petenuzzo-Ayad matchup, they were teammates on Team Canada U20 in the last summer of 2022 in Poland. So you love to see teammates matching up against each other. A little spice there, a little more excitement, a little more to run for.
So it's a 2-2 game. I like to say the word 3 times in a row. 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah. But Ottawa have a break point in their back pocket. So Devon, for those who are less familiar with the rule or with the game, can you explain what is a break point?
Yeah, so essentially it's similar to tennis where you hear holds and breaks, but when you start the disc receiving, you're at a great advantage because you're on offense. So you're expected to score every time you do receive the disc. And if the team who pulls the disc, who throws it to them, scores, that's considered a break because you're at a disadvantage because you have to get a turnover and then score it yourself. So the game's kind of classified in holds and breaks, and you want to hold as many times as you can. And, if you're the team, you want to get as many breaks as you can. But we hear a big pull-up landing inbounds from UVic here. And UOttawa with a little trouble doing, but you have a center to Stables here in the middle.
Ottawa in their own goal line with the zone defense played by UVic.
And you see a bit of a diamond look here really taking away a lot of the under space from UOttawa, making it hard for them to do this handler movement now.
Quickly, Ottawa going from left to right, looking for the hole. And what seems to be a very tight zone defense. Here's the opportunity, finding number 3, Gala, right in the middle. Gala once again, midfield. UVic merging from a zone defense to a 1-to-1 defense. Staples with the disc. Crossing the midfield line. Gala once again. Finding number 17, Goa. On the edge of the red zone, which is the 20-yard zone just before the scoring zone. There was a call. There was a pick call.
Yeah, and for the audience who's not familiar, pick calls, essentially in Frisbee, you're not allowed to obstruct a defender from catching up to their offensive player. So whenever that happens, you just call a pick and you get to catch up.
Staples faking a left-handed pass, holding it back. Gallant on the doorstep of the point for the score line. And here's Ottawa, third point, taking once again a short 1-point lead in this game.
And that was a great breakthrough by Staples to Gallant, working it up, and Gallant to Robertson in the end zone there.
Gallant, which is obviously not the tallest guy, but he's so quick, not only with his releases, but with his feet. He can bust up the line, making himself open. If you need a reset, Gallant is there to help you.
Yeah, and Gallant has played some high-low Frisbee in the past couple summers. Team Canada U20, 2022. Team Canada U24 just this past summer. And playing with Ottawa's Phoenix for the past couple club seasons. So a wealth of experience with Gallant here. And you'll see it on the field. Coach Phelan and Atala will trust him to play both O and D points when necessary.
And since it's a Canadian championship, let's talk about a typical Canadian topic, weather. So the weather forecast this morning, as you can see, it's pretty cloudy, not fairly cold, I would say. There's some 50 to 30% odds of some rain around 11, 12-ish today. So that's kind of a typical October weather in the Brampton area.
Yeah, and pretty typical for this time of year in this tournament. I can imagine just a sunny Brampton University National.
That would be pretty unusual, I would say. Victoria with the disc. Ottawa playing a zone-ish, poachy-ish defense. Try to slow down UVic's O-line, but great cut in by number 27. Victoria still with the disc, moving on LaBelle, attacking the break side, feeding number 55, Bird. Looking for a reset. Time is running out. The left-handed, but intercepted. Oh, there was some bumping. But seems there was no arm. I believe there was a call right before there was some bumping. I think there was a stall down. Is that possible? I know it was very, very late in the stall, but was there a stall down call?
Yeah, you saw Baird having to pivot around, just looking for options here, and just nothing being provided with that smothering Ottawa defense. So now a turn, and UOttawa with a chance to get another break of the game.
They're already ahead by 1 point with the first break point in this game so far. Ayad taking control of this Ottawa disc possession, but it seems there's an injury or
pick.
There was a pick call.
Yep, just a pick call here. Ayad with the disc having to just go back because, again, like we said, you're always deserve a straight line to your defender, to the person you're defending. So looks like we're coming against all 6 or 7 here.
Ayad going break side. Being forced back in midfield. Ottawa moving to this very, very quickly, not allowing UVic any seconds for their defense to set. Gabay with the disc looking for a reset. Tons of pressure by UVic. Disc is floating. but it's completed towards Tremblay-La Rochelle, going still, attacking the break side for Ottawa. Midfield. Great disc movement by Ottawa Handler, but great defense also by UVic, shutting down the ends,
Yeah,
forcing Ottawa to go backward in their own red zone. Great fake by Tremblay-Rochelle, holds it back. Feeding Ayad, looking for an opportunity, but he has to go still on the reset. Really, UVic doing an amazing job at shutting the ends. Here's an opportunity by Tremblay-La Rochelle going long, and it's completed. Number 37 finding his way. Asimovic, just a great cut long, and Ottawa scoring their second breakpoint, taking a 2-point lead in this game.
Yeah, and that was great work for the UOttawa G's there. You saw them just getting pushed backwards, but essentially they were just resetting the disc, taking those free passes, hitting their reset shots until a deep shot like that opened up for Tremblay-La Rochelle to hit Asimovic on the strike.
So great patience by Ottawa Handlers squad. But still, University of Victoria did a great job of shutting down the ends. It took, I don't know, probably 15 passes before there was an opportunity to go long. So, and statistically speaking, in ultimate, out of 10 passes, one will go down or will be incompleted. So you usually complete 90% of your passes. So if your defense can force the opposite team of doing a greater volume of passes, odds are in your favor. The disc will go down, or there will be a miscue, or it will go out of bounds somehow, some way. So, great job by UVic defense.
Yeah, and then just noticing the line UVic sending out right now, their O-line has gotten broken twice in a row recently. So those players that they're going to rely on, like the Petsunuzzo brothers and Baird, are off right now. So looking to see other players like LaBelle and Savage and TL just step up here and hopefully get themselves a hold.
UVic on the receiving end, Ottawa putting a zone defense. Once again, UVic looking for the holes. Great pass going across the field. Cochran with the disc going long, but there was great red. Was there a call? No call. So not a bad option, but still Ottawa's defense was there to deny it. Oh, quick pass, but very tight defense by Cochran, who takes the disc in his whole hand after doing the defense. Looking for a reset. Time is running out. Flicking it right in the middle to number 53, which I'm not sure he was expecting that pass. Savage. So turnover favoring Ottawa near their own goal line. Staples will put it back into play, giving some direction to his teammates, going break side. Now it's Gallant with the disc. Gallant doing what he's good at, passing and busting up the line once again.
Yeah, and you see Gallant and Staples just doubling over here from the D-line to do things like this, like provide and quarterback a D-line to another break. And also Berube crossing over from that O-line too. So it looks like UOttawa has some fresh defenders and some O-line handlers coming over.
Ottawa already having 2 break point in their pocket, hunting down what can potentially be a 3rd break point. UVic, 2 points were scored by their O-line. Staples finding, guess who? Gallant. Gallant going long. Great pass finding number 45, Gibson. Gibson on the goal line looking for reset. Finds Gallant, who has to lay out to secure that disc. Gallant going break side, floaty disc. Once again, Gibson finding it. And Ottawa scoring a second break point in a row, taking a 3-point lead in this game. It's 5-2 for the black jerseys.
Yeah, and UOttawa doing exactly what they did there. You saw Gallant and Staples working it back in between themselves, taking a deep shot to Gibson, probably one of the taller players on this UOttawa roster, that number 45 in the yellow, with the yellow sleeves. And then just two rookies there. You saw Gohar with the assist to Berube. You love to see some production from the first years, right?
That you love to see that. So great team chemistry, and just so how the depth of the U of Ottawa program is. So tons of players. Ottawa is a great city to play ultimate in. So there's a strong ultimate community out there with two great universities, University of Ottawa and Carleton. So two great programs that provided a ton of amazing players, both in the open and the women's division.
Yeah, and I'm sure on this UVic side, there's a budding ultimate program in Victoria that's been around for a long time. I'm sure a lot of the players on the team played on Victoria Surf, who went to Quebec regionals and also to all the way to Northwest regionals in the States. So I'm sure that program gets to feed into the University of Victoria there too.
Ottawa with the disc.
Ayad with the pull here.
The wind is picking up, but does not impact Ayad's pull, which went all across the field, landing in UVic's goal zone. Petenuzzo with the disc going break side, but miscuing. He was shooting for LaBelle, and the time was running out, so another break opportunity by Ottawa. About midfield. So UVic O-line still having to defend, playing some hard defense in order to not get broken another time in this first half. Great low release by number 83, Ayad. Feeding number 9, Killer. About 10 yards shy from the end zone. It's now Tremblay-La Rochelle, who gets hand block.
And that was a great D there by number 55, Baird, to get it back for this UVic O-line and help them try to put up their first hold in a while.
UVic with Petenuzzo finding Davis. Davis, great pivot work. Now feeds Baird, but cannot handle the disc. So quick counter strike by Ottawa in the red zone. They will take their time, not taking anything for granted. We have a great break opportunity. Let's take our time to set a nice vertical stack in the end zone. Ayad waiting, holding it back, resets, but a great defense by number 7, LaBelle, denying this reset, giving the disc back to UVic. Petenuzzo resetting it to Baird. UVic looking for some offense, momentum. Davis quickly to Petenuzzo once again. Midfield to his brother. The brothers exchanging the disc, looking to cross midfield, going long. It's a brother connection. Disc is floating, and it's completed, even though there was a ton of pressure by the very tall number 92, Taryn Ross. But nonetheless, UVic scoring their third point, making this game a 2-point game. 5-2, Ottawa.
Great grab by Petenuzzo there, just going up, even though there was the very tall Ross there in the area, but just timing your jump in. Like you said, it's not about the height, it's about the timing.
There you go, and about the reading of the disc. So UVic hangs in there, trailing only by 2, but still hunting down for the first break point of the game. So Ottawa started on defense, but still they're leading by 2 points with 3 break points so far. So let's see how UVic D-line can generate some turnovers and convert. So Devon, we are seeing some people wearing orange jerseys on the field. They are called observers. Can you tell us what are the observers' rules? Because we know that Ultimate is a self-officiated sport. So what are the observers' role?
Yeah, observers, not just there to watch the game, like some people might think from the name, but essentially they're Ultimate's versions of referees. So Ultimate, you make your own foul calls, you call your own... you have your own discussions, but you can invite in this third-party neutral person to help resolve the calls, and they have extensive rule knowledge. They have extensive training. So they just help keep the game flowing. they call the in and outs, they keep up the time in the points. So really helpful in university games where some newer players might not know all the rules.
Ottawa were looking for some fails into UVic zone defense, which is forcing so far Ottawa to stay at their same height on the field or going backwards. So Ottawa.
Yeah, and it looks like UVic is in a sort of diamond chinch zone where they have a first layer of 3 guys and they have a mid a little shallow. But UOttawa seems to have broken out of this now.
Staple with the disc midfield. UVic transitioning from a zone defense to a 1-to-1 defense. There was a call on the field. No arms, not much discussion. Disc is back alive. Staple with the disc, looking for an option midfield. Not sure that was number 8 was the intended receiver. Nonetheless, Ottawa on the edge of another point. Number 45 catching the disc. Gibson providing Ottawa their 6 points. It's an offense. Old Ottawa 6, UVic 3.
And it really looks like this UOttawa O-line is dialed in, working together, swinging through this UVic zone, getting through it, and then just some disciplined end zone. You saw Berube, the rookie from Ignite, coming in with a nice OI flick to Gibson.
So for those who are fan of statistics, we were talking about break points. You know, the good teams, whenever you have opportunity of scoring a break point versus the times you are converting, if you can do that 1 time out of 2 opportunity, you're doing an amazing job. And I think that's what Ottawa has been doing right now. On UVic's side, there hasn't been much opportunity of break point. Ottawa is so strong by holding the disc and moving it around and not allowing UVic to have any break opportunities. So let's give a lot of credit to the Ottawa handlers doing an amazing job. But still, UVic is doing a ton of pressure on defense, but just missing that little opportunity to convert.
Yeah, this UOttawa O-line has shown you they're not just going to give up the disc with silly throws. You're going to have to go get a block on them, like that hand block Barrett got. And we'll just see if they can keep putting on that more pressure. But right now, the task at hand, UVic has to get this hold because this U of Ottawa D-line is really punishing right now. Anytime there's a turn, they're trying to punch it in right away, and they've been really efficient at that throughout the game. But we have a great pull here from IAD, putting UVic at the back of their end zone, and Petsanuso takes it from the middle.
How important is the pull throw to begin each punt? You know, I think we undervalue how a great puller can really help your defense and put pressure on the O-line.
Yeah, it's a very undervalued skill in Ultimate, but I'm sure most teams know the value of a pull and just even giving your defenders like that extra 3 or 4 seconds to get down there.
Davis feeding Petenuzo along the sideline. UVic threatening. Robinson, just miscuing. Unfortunately, UVic was right there, but just 1 pass short of scoring their 4th point, and will be another break opportunity by Ottawa, which they were able to take advantage so far 3 times.
Yeah, and that was Robinson with a miscue to McLaren. McLaren trying to hit the ground to get the disc, but just not in time. So now we see Tremblay La Rochelle from UOttawa picking up the disc and trying to help them march up the field.
Tremblay La Rochelle looking for a reset, going long, just getting rid of the disc, but it's blocked by Bird. Calling a timeout. Or was that a stall down, I think, call?
Yeah,
it was very, very late. And I think he even did a travel. I think he switched his pivot foot by throwing this unusual flick. That was pretty creative.
Yeah, that's,
I believe,
the sign of just a high stall bailout throw. Tremblay La Rochelle just wanted to get it out of there. Petsanuto did call a stall, but it gets overturned. It was contested, but it gets overturned because it was a turnover anyways. And it looks like Bear just called the timeout after getting that D here for UVic to just try to get their first hold back.
We've seen Ottawa a couple of times doing some high stall throws, but they were able to complete those passes as of yet. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably one of the first time that Ottawa is really stuck, not able to reset anything. It just shows how the UVic one-to-one defense is really, really suffocating. Ton of pressure by the UVic squad.
Yeah, and especially on that corner there, you have the wind coming at you. It's called the coffin corner for a reason. Many throwers go there to die, unfortunately. So we'll see.
Coffin corner, and we are about 2 weeks shy of Halloween, so maybe there's a relation, maybe there's not. Well, whatever.
Well, Ultimate is played at all times of the year, but specifically for University National, I do see the correlation there.
So this game is the first of 3 assignment for this Ultimate Championship here in Brampton, Ontario. We'll get back to you with the schedule for the 2 other assignments for today. And we have 4 games tomorrow, of which the 2 finals in the women's and the open division. So looking forward to it. Bird will put the disc back into play, looking for an up the line, but goes reset on the break side. Finds Petenuzo. Bird again attacking the break side. That's number 7, LaBelle. Davis saving the disc. Great one-hand grab. Once again, LaBelle. Less than 10 yards away from a goal. Nice flick to reset. Disc is floating, and it's being blocked by Ottawa, but the players stays down. Was there a call? It was a happy hour in the end zone to fight for this floaty disc. More likely the wind just picking it up and making it.
Yeah, those dog piles are always tough because you're always getting bumped around. Everyone feels like they couldn't get a right jump in there. So usually a lot of fouls are called just like that. But essentially what happened was Robinson just not releasing it low enough and the disc just getting carried into the wind. Baird was the original target, but it looks like Ottawa is taking an injury sub. That is Mark Chow.
And Staples will
coming on.
replace him.
And Chow, actually a BC native himself, so he probably knows some of these UVic guys. Special shout out to Mark Chow there.
Turnover for Ottawa. This point I've started with Ottawa pulling, so break opportunity for the dark jerseys. Ayad going back end to Gana going long, well read, well anticipated by number 14 from UVic. Robinson denying that long attempt. But what an amazing pass considering the wind.
Oh, yeah.
It just went across the field. No hesitation, just whacks it back in the end zone and makes the disc making all the way. But still, great defense by Robinson.
Yeah, you saw Keeler just put it up, trying to trust Asimovich to bring it down, but Robinson just got in the way. But I'm sure Keeler took a lot of shots on Pipe, his club team this summer, and that's where he gets that experience from.
LaBelle rolling on the field to secure that disc, looking for a reset. Petenuzo, but it will be Bird at the brick mark, going break side, feeding Davis. Davis faking a back end, finds 27, McLaren. McLaren resetting with great pressure by Ottawa. Petenuzo findings, but it was number 14, but just Robinson could not get a hold on that disc. Counter strike by Ottawa, taking their time. Look like they will set a vertical stack. Staples backing it, whacks it down the end zone, and it's being caught by Ayad, which usually throw those discs, but now it makes himself a long target. Ottawa scoring their 7th point, and it's another break point by the dark jerseys.
Yeah, and Staples executing exactly what they wanted to happen there. He came on for the injury sub for Chow, and he quarterbacked that line, putting up the big hug to his roommate, actually, Ayad. So best friends hitting each other. That's exactly what they talk about all the time at the dinner table.
More likely. So Ottawa taking a 4-point lead in this first half. The halftime will happen whenever one of these two teams reaches the 8-point mark on the scoreboard. So if momentum remains, more likely Ottawa is 1 point shy of the halftime mark.
Yeah, especially UVic going to have to go upwind here. It looks like some of their main O-line people are taking a break now, so Just a lot more people getting into the game, like Edgel on the line here, and we have Brampton free. Just some names we haven't called yet. So let's see if these fresh legs from UVic can provide some more stimulation to get the O line up.
It seems like there was a timeout call. Was there a timeout? No, the two teams are just setting it up for the next point.
It looks like Coach Phelan is using this timeout to stack this line for UOttawa. So you see a lot of people crossing over. You see Gibson, Gallant, Berube from the O-line, Gohar coming in. Really looking forward to run something to get a D there. And yes, confirming a timeout has been called. So, Etienne, it is a chilly 9 degrees here in Brampton, Ontario. What's your go-to hot drink for this type of weather?
And I'm assuming your question is a no alcohol hot drink. I'm assuming so. I'm a kind of typical classic dark coffee, no milk, no sugar, just plain old coffee. So, but sometimes once in a while, a little hot chocolate. I'm treating myself. How about you, Devon?
I'm not a coffee fan, so I'm going to be drinking my hot chocolate. But this begs the question: where do you get your coffee from? Are you a Starbucks, McDonald's, Tim Hortons?
I'm kind of going for the classic Tim Horton. Typical Canadian coffee drinker goes to Tim Horton. But I'm not disliking the Starbucks and the McDonald's of this world.
Going with a true Canadian answer here. Okay, back to the game. Berube getting ready to pull downfield, and UVic hoping to get one hold before halftime.
Great pull, but will unfortunately being taken by the wind. Out of bound, UVic will put it back into play at the brick mark. The brick mark is the X you're seeing on the field, which is 20 yards up the end zone. So whenever the disc on the pull lands out of bound, the team can put it back. It's kind of a penalty for the pulling team to put it out of bound. So you have a 20-yard free ride when you're on O-line. Disc is floating and secure by Petenuzzo, but there was some bumping. No call, but one player stays down.
That was a huge grab by Petenuzzo. Another one. He's just showing that he's getting up there. Berube was on the ground. I think he's going to be taking an injury sub. Makes sense. We have Ayad coming back on here. Hopefully everyone is safe and okay. And UVic's going to try to make it through this UOttawa zone now.
Ayad on the field. Petenuzzo with the disc. UVic midfield looking to close that 4-point gap they are suffering from right now. It's 7-3 for Ottawa. The wind seems to pick up on this field, and the wind comes from the top end of your screen towards the bottom end of your screen. So sideways wind. Petenuzzo feeding number 17, Edgel. Now it's number 13, Alexander. So we haven't seen these players on the O-line so far. Turnover. Gallant with the disc. Resetting. Ottawa. D-line hunting down another break point. Gallant leading the way. Feeding Ayad. Hammer towards the end zone. Disc is floating, but I guess the disc was slowed down maybe by the wind.
And you just saw some would say ill-advised hammer there from Ayad. I'm sure Coach Phelan is putting his hands on his head with some decision-making.
Even Gibson, which is a tall player, throwing a hammer was kind of a gutsy decision by Ayad. But still, they're leading 7-3.
Yes.
UVic. Cochran with the disc going long. Backhand. Two white jerseys are chasing down the disc, but it's number 13 who will secure UVic's Alexander, providing UVic their 4th point of the game. Still UVic trailing by 3. It's 7-3 for Ottawa.
Yeah, and what a great point for UVic there. Cochrane to Alexander, two names we haven't been calling, but that's what you get when you put on a fresh line. You get some new people, some new looks, some new fresh bodies to put them throws up like that.
And there was two UV jerseys on the receiving end of this great pass by Cochrane, which was initiated midfield, and without any hesitation, he saw two of his teammates. He just I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna make a nice backhand pass. Two of my friends are waiting for it, so let's do it. And nothing that the Ottawa defender can do on that.
Yeah, and in this bit of dead time here, I'd like to take a thank you to our cameraman, Harry Tratnick, over here. You know, not everyone behind the camera gets as much love, but the reason all your visuals are going, you're getting all the players in the camera is shout out to Harry. So, Harry, we love you.
Harry, which drove down from Hawkesbury this morning.
Uxbridge.
Hawkesbridge. Hawkesbury. I
yeah.
thought it was. I'll see. Thanks for the clarification. Nonetheless, Harry, we love you. Like we love all the Ultimate Canada staff, which are doing an amazing job setting this tournament. I guess it's kind of a tradition now, hosting the CUUC in Brampton, Ontario, with the wonderful facilities provided by the City of Brampton, one of our three sponsors of this event. There's also Discraft, the official disc provider, and also B Ultimate, which provide the gears for most of the CUUC teams. Thanks for supporting this event. Ottawa, Gibson finding his teammates. Now it's Gallant once again, flicking it on the open side, finding his teammate Knox.
And just a pancake through the hands, Knox just not receiving that pass from Gallant, but a great throw nonetheless. And
it was a great vision.
Yeah, UVic here with their first chance to break in a while. Let's see what Petsanutsa here picking up the disc can do with this D-line.
Ottawa O-line having to defend, which they haven't done much so far in this game. UVic crossing the midfield, finding Margison, who's resetting to Petenuzo, going break side back end, feeding number 37, Buck.
And it looks like Petsanutsa looking to go every other here. He's probably going to will this team with Hux like that. Let's see what happens.
Great defense by Ottawa. More likely tallest player, number 45, Gibson. Ayad flicking it from his left hand, and he finds his teammate. Was that caught in? Waiting for the confirmation by the observers. Yes, it is Ottawa's 8th point. They will win the first half of this game. They're leading by 8-4.
And that was a great upwind flick from the lefty Cam Knox there to Robertson for the score. A half for UOttawa to remember, and we'll see what adjustments UVic can make at half to maybe make this game a little closer.
Ottawa having scored 4 break point. UVic still chasing down for their first break point. We will take a short break. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned. We are back, Brampton, Ontario, Canadian Ultimate University Championship. UVic wearing the white jerseys facing off against U of Ottawa. The dark jerseys are leading 8-4. They have scored 4 break points so far, while UVic is still hunting down for their first break point of this game. My name is Etienne Fournier. I'm sharing the mic with Devon Asemota. Thanks for being with us wherever you are, either on the east side of the country or the west side. Welcome, enjoy your warm coffee.
Yeah, and I think the story of that first half is just how punishing that Ottawa D-line offense was, really just converting so many turns and getting up to 4 breaks. And you hear Cochran with the big pull here.
Which lands out of bound about that the brick mark height on the field. So as you mentioned, Devon, the way that Ottawa is moving around the disc with the Gallant, Ayad, they have a great squad of handlers. Staples also doing an amazing job. UVic setting what seems to be a 1-1 defense with some poaches maybe on the open side. But still, Ottawa finds the hole on the break side. Gallant, great target, feeds Gibson. Gibson back in to his teammate wearing number 17, Goha. Still Ottawa in the red zone. Little floaty ding. So Gallant once again using his speed to grant his team their 9th point of the game. Ottawa now ahead by 5 to kick off this second half.
Yeah, and Asimovich to Gallant there. Some just smooth disc movement. Not really stressed. You saw Gallant get open on that initiating cut there. And Ottawa just keeps it rolling. UVic now will look to get that first hold out of half. And let's see if they're making any adjustments here to score a little easier.
One thing we have mentioned previously, Devon, is how great Ottawa is good to break the mark. And they have the depth of handling to do so. And they're like abusing it and punishing UVic for their inability to block the handler from going around the mark. So maybe that's one adjustment that UVic, but let's give a lot of credit also to the handler squad of Ottawa, which are doing an amazing job at breaking the mark.
Yeah, you just see the skilled handlers like Tremblay La Rochelle, Gallant, Staples, Berube, all of them just not stressed when they have the disc, just looking for their open options, hitting their open shots. But that's not to discount the handling we see on the UVic side. Petsanuzzo's, Bear, they've definitely come up with some throws, and they've been holding the ship steady there on the UVic side. All right, here we have Ayad here with a pull. He's the main puller from Ottawa, and let's see what happens here.
Nice, long, floaty disc that will land inbound. Petsanuzzo on the receiving end. Finds Baird going break side. Finds LaBelle. LaBelle fakes it, going long. Whacks a long backhand. Petsanuzzo, the youngest of the two brothers, could not handle it. It was within his reach, but there was a ton of pressure also by Ayad. And even though Ayad hasn't touched the disc, he put enough pressure for Petsanuzzo to not being able to catch that disc.
Yeah, and you saw Petsanuzzo just a little frustrated with himself. He had a hand on it, and when you have a hand on it, a lot of times you feel like you should have caught it.
Miscued by Ottawa, just 1 yard shy of the end zone, and UVic confirming their offense hold, scoring their 5th point of the game, still trailing by 4. Ottawa 9, UVic 5.
Not the way they drew it up again, but you take what happens, taking advantage of the miscue from Ottawa there. Max Ayad just dropping the disc, and then Petsanuzzo to Petsanuzzo picking up really quickly that next play mentality. We're just going to focus on what's in front of us.
With the weather, which is fairly cold, with the little wind, your hands gets to get very, very cold, and some players are not wearing gloves or even if you wear gloves, sometimes your hands get cold, so it's hard to keep control of the disc. Plus, if you consider the rotation of the disc, sometimes it tends to roll out of your hand when you try to get a grasp on it.
Yeah, definitely in this weather, it's paramount to keep your hands warm, to keep moving. Judging by what the players are wearing right now, you wouldn't know the weather because some players are just here, shorts and a t-shirt, and some are in pants and a long sleeve and a sweater. Just shows you different levels of warmth, different levels of warming up.
Unlike us, which we are standing here on a picnic table to describe the game and wearing all our winter gears.
Oh yes, I definitely have to break out the winter jacket here, wearing a couple layers, tops and bottoms. But Petsanuta here Cochran here with the big pull. Rolling out of bounds here, UOttawa having a little bit of difficulty fielding a pull, and we'll see if UVic can take advantage of this.
Ottawa on their sideline, no mark on the disc. Resetting backward, Staples in his own goal. Ottawa looking for answers, resetting, going backward. They're now very deep into their own end zone. UVic putting a ton of pressure 1-to-1. There's not much room for Ottawa to breathe. Suffocating 1-to-1 defense by UVic, going up the line, miscuing. So Staple looking like he will call an injury.
Yeah, and that was great handler defense pressure there by Savage and Douglas. Just making life difficult for Tremblay La Rochelle and Staples to just move the disc. Unfortunately, Staples calling an injury. You have Golbey coming on as the sub, a strong D-line player, first-year player from Ottawa, and hopefully he can help them with getting this disc back.
UVic in a great position to break. They will call a timeout to make sure they settle things right. Now can be a momentum changer in this game. UVic chasing down their first break point of the game. Ottawa have scored 4 break points so far, which explains the 4 points difference between the two teams.
Yeah, Ottawa. The great thing about their team is they have a lot of depth, so they can put out O-line of star-studded club players, and they can put a D-line of the same quality, not necessarily needing to cross over big players to get a break like some university teams who rely on like 2 to 3 stars to really do a lot of the moving. At UOttawa, it's really spread. You do have that top-end talent like playing U24 like Gallant and Ayad, but you also just have depth players who play club like Asimovic coming out of the out program in Gatineau, and other players like Gibson and Bergeron, just quality university players. So we'll see if depth wins out or the shorter roster of UVic with a high top end can win out here.
UVic in a great position. They are in Ottawa's red zone, but still they are on the sideline, and you know how challenging it is to get out of that sideline. There isn't much room upward, so you have to either go backward. So let's see how UVic take advantage of this great breakpoint opportunity. Savage with the disc. Faking it, looking for a reset. Great pressure by Ottawa, but I think there was a call. Gala seems to have bumped into Douglas for the defense.
Yeah,
Douglas reenacting, 2 players discussing, and it seems like Gala says not contesting the foul, so will be a UVic possession.
Yeah, and Douglas just feeling Gallant had to go through him to go get that disc, and great conversation happened, and now Douglas will have Gallant on him, and UVic still with another chance to break here.
Lots of traffic. Oh, miscued. Douglas looking for reset backward, but his teammate was not expecting it, and Gallant feeding a 1-pass point to Gabay. Ottawa O-line holds on, scoring their 10th point, entering the double-digit zone on the scoreboard. 10-5 for the dark jerseys.
And Golbey being rewarded for his beautiful handler defense and just striking off deep, and Gallant just rewarding that effort. And you saw the great upwind flick there to Golbey for the first point for the rookie of the game.
So great break point opportunity by UVic that is not converted. So I guess that's the story of the game so far for the white jerseys. They had a few opportunities, but just one pass shy of converting, which on the other hand, Ottawa took full advantage of those opportunities.
Yep.
They are leading by 5. We are in the second half of this game. Our first appointment today for now on the web stream. Our next appointment will be at 1:15 Eastern Time.
And do you know who's playing in that matchup, Etienne?
If I'm not mistaken, team from Manitoba in the Open Division will be one of the two teams that we will feature. What's the other team, Devon?
The other team is McGill, and if you're familiar with these two teams in the University Division, that is a rematch of last year's bronze medal. So you had the third and fourth team in the country just going at it in pool play. What an exciting thing to see on stream. But back to the game on hand, you saw IAD with a huge pull, with Baird picking it up to start.
We have started this game over an hour ago. It is intended to last 80 minutes unless one of these two teams reaches the 15-point mark. UVic O-line miscuing straight in the middle of the field. It will be turnover favoring Ottawa, threatening once again. Atsimovic will put the disc back into play, fakes it right in the middle, breaking the mark, feeding number 92 Ross. It's a floaty disc and it's being caught by number 31 Bayarjon, the tallest guy in this happy hour in the end zone, landing on his behind to secure the disc, but still it's not the form, but it's the end that's important. Nonetheless, Ottawa scoring another break point, taking a 6-point lead in his second half.
Yeah, and might not have been the intended target for Ross there, but getting rewarded and getting lucky anyways, and Bergeron helping bail him out from that throw.
Devon, I feel like Ottawa, they're playing a great game, but they were lucky a couple of times, which, sometimes you create your luck. Sometimes you're just lucky, but, when and I think that luck aspect has not been on UVic's side, when they haven't thrown things that, 50-50, there was always on the Ottawa side, I believe.
Yeah, and call it luck, but it's also it's a skill to be in the right place at the right time sometimes, Some players, they just have that nose for the disc, and yeah, like you said, a couple of these 50-50s might not have gone UVic's way, but here they have another chance to get a hold, and yeah, hopefully they can just keep building for future in this tournament, right? Because the tournament doesn't end after their second game. They still have a matchup against Sherbrooke to finish off pool play, and the bracket tomorrow is guaranteed for all teams. So now they can just work on things to maybe not focus on winning this game, but focus on building for the future of this tournament.
It's intercepted by Ayad, stealing the disc away from the intended receivers and just was one pass away from providing Ottawa their 12-point. Really, Ottawa is in the driver's seat right now.
And you mentioned earlier, what is the value of good pulling? You just saw it there. That pull hung. Petsunuto did catch it, but the UOttawa defense was able to go down and just smother UVic, not giving them any options. IAD getting the run through D and just tossing it to Ross in the end zone there.
7-point differential in favor of the dark jerseys from the University of Ottawa. They are the silver medalists from last year's CUUC, hoping to go all the way in this 2023 edition of this national championship, which so far they have looked very, very strong in this game, in the game before that, which they've played against University of Sherbrooke, which they have won by a score of 14-8, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Ottawa looking very disciplined. They're looking like a team hoping to make it back to the national final here. Same suspects here on the D line here. Now we get some fresh legs. We got Ross, Keeler, Bergeron again, and yeah, like you said, they're really disciplined. This is what you want to see for a team hoping to make the finals of a tournament like this. Putting away games right away, not letting teams hang around. They're just foot on the gas pedal.
Ottawa pulling to UVic. UVic looking for something to happen. Moving the disc sideways. Great cut by Alexander, but the pass was a little too low. Could not get a hold.
Yeah, and
Even though we made a great effort by laying out to catch that disc.
Grafton Free just not putting enough height on that disc, letting UOttawa have another break chance. But Golbet, unfortunately, with the miscue on the Keeler reset pass, so UVic with another chance to hold.
Redemption opportunity for UVic O-line. Looking for a reset. Great up the line cut, but there was some poaching effort there. Alexander saving this disc, dishing it to his teammate wearing number 37, Buck. UVic scoring their 6th point of the game, still trailing by 6, 12-6 in favor of Ottawa.
And another UVic line, one of those lines where you're just getting more players into the game, getting fresh legs, and they're coming here with a hold and a clean one, or almost clean. They had one turn, but a hold nonetheless. So, Etienne, are you a fan of jerseys at all?
Of course.
Okay, how do we rate these UVic and these GG's jerseys right now?
Well, they are both beautiful, but if I've always loved like the dark jerseys of the teams, and I like the GG's logos with kind of the lion. I believe it's a lion that they have, like as an animal.
That's a horse.
That's well. See, that's not even close. It's I'm sure I can do better next time. So.
Okay, and the V, do you know UVic's mascot?
No, I don't know.
It's a UVic Vikes, I think, like the Vikings. So that's what the big V is for. So yeah, I do like these UVic blues. These long sleeves are really nice.
They are.
But clearly,
when UVic plays dark, they play on. I think they're wearing blue jerseys, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that later on in the tournament. But we have Berube centering to Samuel Tremblay-La Rochelle here.
Ottawa dishing it on the open side. Right now, nice little flick, but just still out of reach, even though number 10 from Ottawa, Tremblay-La Rochelle, did a great layout bid to secure that disc, but UVic with a break opportunity. Alexander straight in the middle of the field, looking for resets. Finds Grafton Freeze. Grafton Freeze flicking it, but it's everybody's disc. It's floating, and it lands on the ground with some bumping, but no damage. Ottawa counter strike. Attacking the open side. Now going break. With 17 Goha going long backhand, great angle, great reading by Gallant, right on the goal line, and just was one flick away to find Gibson. Ottawa scoring their 13th point, now leading by 7. We are in the second half of the game.
And you can see how excited the rookie Gohar is, putting up a hug to his teammate Gallant. And then Gallant just doing the easy work, reading the disc well, and giving it to Gibson there for the score. But you love the rookies getting involved here. So, like we were just talking about, some jerseys. Are there other university teams that you're a fan of their jerseys?
Well, we were talking about that right before this game, and I love the Queens. Like the color of the Queen's University, like they're just looking at the very yellowish colors, it makes a statement on its own. So I love those brightful jerseys and colors, especially in the university series. You know, it's so energetic, so enthusiastic, so a ton of all the joy and the commitment that these athletes are doing in such a short season. We should say it would last like 7 or 8 weeks. You have like 3 tournaments in there. You have to practice, put a team together on top of all your school assignment. So, I mean, wow, I'm just amazed by how committed those athletes are. But going back to the jerseys, I love the Queens.
Yes, I'm going to have to give a shout out to the Université de Laval. I love their little red and gold jerseys there. Some of my favorite. And I thankfully got to trade for one last season, so I have one of my own. Shout out David Poirier, the coach of the women's team.
UVic, the Vikings, midfield, Petenuzo finding Davis. Fire for the U of Ottawa. They were playing zone, but they're melting to one-to-one defense. Midfield, LaBelle with the disc, putting it high. Great read by Davis. Davis putting it into space. Oh, I think it was intended to be to LaBelle, but he was not expecting that pass. So turnover favoring Ottawa, timeout call by the Ottawa squad on their own goal line. Ross initiated that timeout call.
And you saw Golbe there just making sure, laying out, some might say gratuitous, some might say it wasn't necessary. But for Teo there, that's a highlight reel.
It is, absolutely. So we have seen many of those top 10 plays yesterday through all the 3 games that we have web streamed. This is the first of 3 games that will be web streamed today. Our next assignment, as we mentioned, will be at 1:15, where University of Manitoba will match up against McGill from Montreal.
Yeah, the matchup for a couple seasons now, they both played each other in Division 1. And like we mentioned earlier, the 3 and 4 team from last year's. And then after that McGill-Manitoba game, we have the University of Manitoba women's team versus the University of Toronto. So you have the defending silver medalist, I believe, taking on Toronto, who's done well in the previous 2 tournaments this season, winning Steeltown, qualifying for nationals, and coming second at Easterns. So it should be a tale of 2 great teams there. And you see University of Ottawa trying to run to their spots right now because you only get a limited number of time after your timeout to set.
And Devon, you just mentioned the Steeltown tournament. Can you tell us about that tournament?
Yeah, so Ontario teams, university teams, you got a couple of chances to qualify for. You get a couple chances to qualify. You get a couple chances to qualify for nationals because there's just so many bids there for Ontario, just for the depth of teams there, if that makes sense. So right now we have UOttawa working out of their end zone, and Ayad putting up the big shot to Bergeron. And that backhand hook just sailing a little too far. So UOttawa squandering their break chance here.
And that's something when you're stuck near your own goal line, the stall is getting high, you have nobody to throw to. Just throw it long and hope for the best. Worst case, it will be a turnover, but away from your own goal line. So not a bad decision. UVic moving upward. LaBelle. Floaty disc in the end zone. Davis is there on the receiving end, but it's partially tipped out of reach. And it will be another defense by Ottawa. It seems like Davis got injured in that when he jumped. I guess it's on the landing. He hurt himself. So there will be a substitution on UVic's side. So will Ottawa change a player? It seems like no. Everybody seems to have fresh legs, but I see number 16 from Ottawa going on the field. Baby
for fielding there, coming off now.
So Ottawa D-line will have to work some offense across the field. Quick run to put the disc back into play. Going long. There was a player as Bergeron was standing there, having to go on the ground to secure that disc. Quick counter strike by Ottawa. Great bid on defense, but a little too shy. Big Bay. And number 9, Killer, wearing which looks to be like his pajamas pants. I'm not sure. Anyway, very stylish pants. Ayad resetting to Killer. Ayad once again, great flick. Nice catch by number 13. Having to rise up in the air, Gabe to secure that disc. Ayad rolling on his shoulder to save that disc. Gabe once again on the doorstep of the goal line. Just a quick flick, but Baird was there, and I think like Gabe would like to have this opportunity back. Bird counter strike, but will that stay? No, that will go out of bound. Petenuzzo, the youngest of the two brother Max, was by himself, but I guess I feel like the wind just put the disc out
Yeah,
of
and
bound.
Barrett seeing his teammate Petsuso streaking deep, a little too enticing to turn down, but it just not staying in bounds for him. And UVic taking this time to set their zone up, so they have a little bit of a 3-3-1.
Ayad with the disc with a floaty backhand release. Going long, floating, but out of bound. Number 92, Ross, attempted that long play. There was two dark jerseys on the receiving end, but once again, the wind picked it up.
Yeah, and it looks like Balgeron is just too big of a target to turn down. We've seen about 3 mishooks to him this point, and it looks like Bailey might have come down with an injury.
While we're hearing the horn signaling that this point will be the last point of the game. So Ottawa leading by 7 will win the game and move on in their pool play with 2 victories so far. So looking to secure a 3rd victory later today, while UVic will suffer from their 2nd loss in a row today. They have lost earlier in a very well-fought game against Queens.
Yep,
now
and
losing
just
against Ottawa.
Yeah, and now UOttawa will be 2-0 in pool play. UVic will now be 0-2 heading into their match. So just some scores around Division 1 in the Open Division. You see Manitoba beat McMaster 15-9 in that first game. Montreal beat McGill 11-10. And Queens, like we mentioned, beat UVic 11-9. And in the women's time slots, they have not played yet. So just some updates on what's happening here, just around the division.
So as we mentioned, next assignment at 1:15 Eastern time for Manitoba against Montreal's McGill. We'll have another game later. I think it's at 2:55 in the women's division. And we're taking this opportunity to thank Harry on the camera, which is doing an amazing job shooting those images you're seeing and enjoying. And also a big, huge kudos to all the Ultimate Canada staff and volunteer. While we see a great defense, a great effort also to save the disc. But what a layout bid on defense from number 9, Kaler.
Yeah, and Keeler known for making huge bids like that. And he just got up there too, gave UVic a second chance at it, but they couldn't bring it down. So great D by Keeler there.
So let's not be fooled with his PJ's pant. Is fully awakened. Ottawa looking for answer through UVic's zone defense, going long, but it falls out of bound. UVic looking to counter and score a last point in this game. There was a pick call. No damage done. Disc will remain where it is to Petenuzzo.
And you see this Gohar Baird matchup. I think they're both from Wisconsin, which is a little peculiar for the Canadian University Division. So they might know each other. Not sure, can't confirm, but might just a little fun fact for the people back at home.
Robinson saving this disc initially intended to LaBelle. LaBelle having the disc once again. Quick back end to Petenuzzo. Baird fakes the flick, goes back end, but nice read by number 31, Bayarjon. That last point is lasting.
Yes, and I think the boys on the field they don't want it to end, They keep just making fantastic defensive plays. So Balcheron with the D there on Petenuzzo. Ross picking up the cone. Ross picking up the disc at the front cone here against this UVic zone.
Oh, there was a Callahan opportunity, which just little short from number 14, McLaren, if I'm not Robinson, I should say. It was just a little shy, but nonetheless, they have the defense, so have an opportunity to score their 7th point of the game.
Yeah, and UVic trying to end this game on a high here, isolating LaBelle at the front of the stack, and Pettenuto puts it in. And what a game we had here. Final score, I think 13-7 for UOttawa. And yeah, just another step closer for UOttawa trying to get back to that national final.
We hope you have enjoyed this game, and what a good way to kick off your Saturday morning with a great coffee, great ultimate action here in Brampton, Ontario. Canadian Ultimate University Championship 2023. Thank you so much, Devon, for providing all your very valuable insights into this game. My name is Etienne Fournier. Thank to all the staff. For next assignment, 1:15 Eastern Time, where Manitoba will be face off against McGill. Talk to you later.
À tantôt.